Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC. We do everything DIY, and today we have a service call for an AAON packaged unit. Thank you to everyone tuning into Jumperman Tech. Alright, we got this 18-ton AAON unit. If you watched my previous video, we pressure washed all the coils for this and that unit. So we are here to double check a few things. Apparently we got word that either one of the compressors may be bad or there's a leak in the system. They're not exactly sure which, so that's a bit interesting. Let's see. Something's got to be running here. This thing is sweating and it's about to be 90 something degrees out here. So we have two cooling circuits. Do we see anything? Let's look. Oh wait. Three. Compressor protector trip. So this is your unloader here. Take a picture of the back here. It tells you what that alert is actually. Alright, let's take a look here. You're gonna see some red 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So the top LED was 3 lights, red, right? That's stat 1. And then underneath it was 4, right? That's stat 2. And if you look here, it says LED blink codes 3 and 4. The only option you have there says CONT temp cool fail. And you know, I'm sure that has to do with this issue. This unit's running. Got quite a few missing refrigerant caps here, I'll tell you that. Okay. Let me see, that unloader. There's 3 orange and 3 yellow. Oh no, there's 3 oranges from here. The yellow goes in and through this. Who's yellow here? Yep, it's this one where we is this one here that had that so look, hold on a second. Sorry, my words are getting a little mixed up. You can see this must be the contactor for that. It goes through this unloader. This just passes through it, right? Yeah, it just like passes through. It must be like reading current or something. I don't know. But then it goes through there and into our compressor. And then this one, orange, goes to this guy. Alright, well, those are our 2 circuits. Alright guys, I got my digital field piece probes. This thing is amazing. Also got the 2 temperature clamps. So I got these on here, right? Actually took out the little plug right there for the compressor terminals because this thing was in my way, so I couldn't get this probe on. But we have a very, very clear case here. Thing is empty, man. It really does have a leak. I don't know why they said they're not sure whether the compressor's bad too. Maybe they're trying to get away with that as well. What I could do is do a test on the compressor, but you know, this is just a electrical test. We can check the windings on this compressor and get an idea if this thing has a shot once the leak is repaired and you know, we're ready for startup. So we can run a test on this as long as it's not grounded and we got good readings on the windings and stuff like that. I would give it a pass. I'm not gonna say just change the compressor just because there was a leak in the system, especially Copeland. I mean, these things are beasts, man. So we clearly have a leak here. Clearly have a leak, and it's empty. Could do a little quick visual inspection, see if you see any oil stains. I do see some stuff here that's like blue. You see that? Take a few pictures. Like, that doesn't look good. Oh wow, that doesn't look good at all. That looks pretty bad. What's this? See that little brown stain by the crankcase heater? What the heck is that? But we are looking at this circuit here. Let's take a quick peek for oil stains if we see anything. I mean, oh, see that? I think that's just the glue, though. that's just the glue. Oh man, that would have been sick. But you also have a ton of these with missing ports, missing caps. Imagine just a little Schrader valve caused this whole issue. Whatever. Diagnostic right now. We got a leak. We got a leak. All right, cool. Let's test this compressor out. All right, so we're gonna check between these two first pins, terminals. So we're really checking between any two. So, okay. I'm gonna apply 500 volts to this thing. Test it. Oh wow. Whoa. Super low. Let's make sure we applied 500 volts. Hold up. Hold on a second. Hold on, man. You got low batteries or something? We didn't get 500 volts. Hold up. What the heck? What the heck? $10 volts. Come on. Alright, let's take out the fuel piece here until I figure out the situation with this. Probably need new batteries. Kind of haven't used them in a little while. I'm going to set my meter to resistance. My meter reads resistance and continuity at the same time. So we want continuity between any two of the three terminals. I got continuity there, and I have about 3.4 ohms. Okay, then I'm gonna go to the next two. We have continuity 3.4 ohms, and then the last pair we have continuity, and I have a very strange reading there. It started up high, but now it's coming back down. 3.6. I don't know why it's making the why. Let's try this again. It's yeah, 3.6. It's weird how it's kind of auto ranging. Is that maybe something to do with the oil in the system? To be honest with you, that's a bit of a strange reading. But we do have continuity, and the last two did kind of reach that 3.4, 3.6 range. But why is it auto ranging? Let me reset my meter again, because I mean, to be honest with you, that's weird. So for a 3-phase compressor, between any two of the three terminals on this compressor, you want to see the same reading. You want to see the same reading. All right, 3.4, 3.3. See, now every time my meter looks, it's actually normal. Now this one starts a little high, 3.3. This one's 3.3. All right, what the heck is going on here today with these meters? That checks out. We have continuity between any two of the three. That's a check for it being good. If you didn't, that's a problem. We have the same resistance between any of the two or three. That's a check in my book. Let's go over to the next test. All right, I'm just gonna sand down a portion of this pipe here to make sure we have a good ground. Nice, clean contact. This is the best way you could do it. Sometimes dirty copper will throw you off. That is nice and shiny. All right, check your meter beforehand. Make sure you hear a beep. It's a little hard to hear because this thing is running, but I have a beep, so I got continuity. You want to check any one terminal to ground, and you do not want continuity because then this thing will be grounded. No continuity or resistance, no continuity or resistance, and then the last one to ground, no continuity or resistance. All right, so in this case it checks out as well. You do not want continuity because then you would have a grounded compressor. Basically the windings inside is basically touching the casing of the motor. As of right now with this with these tests on a regular multimeter, it checks all the boxes. Let me figure out if I get some batteries or something for this meter, and we can do a more depth in diagnostics on the insulation resistance in these windings. If that checks out, I'll just tell them to search for that leak, find that leak, repair it, give this thing, bump this thing up. I pulled out the batteries and kind of just shifted them, and I saw it gave me 500 volts. So we're gonna try it as long as we confirm we do have those 500 volts. So we're gonna check between any two of the three terminals again. Okay, hit test. See if I get a better angle so this thing doesn't shine. 11 volts, bruh. Hold on a second, am I getting a feedback from this? Let's see if I press this. Oh wow, I'm getting 534 volts. It wasn't the batteries. How come? Let me try some other terminals. Or you know what? Make sure everything's plugged in properly. What the heck is going on? Wonder if oil and moisture contamination is messing up my readings, because I don't get more than 10 volts when I'm checking between any of the 2 to 3 terminals. But right now I got one terminal to ground. I'm gonna test it, and it shows me 534 volts, 4,000 megohms. That's good. Let that zero out with voltage. Now we can check the next one. Thing. That's a good reading. Okay. Get a good connection here. According to this test, we're not grounded and nowhere near it. 4,000 mega, I mean, that's a great test. And honestly, a mega is primarily used for winding to ground insulation testing. And then as far as like checking between all the terminals, really for the most part, continuity and regular ohms is good enough. This actually checks out. All right, I changed the batteries on this thing for real this time. Same thing, only getting 10 volts over there. All right, I'm gonna check with the regular leads. Volts as well. This time I sanded down the terminals. Same thing, So when they're connected across the terminals, the most this thing can apply is 10 volts for some reason, but we do get the 500 plus volts when we're checking from terminal to ground. We passed every single test except this one, but I think this one's playing games on us because this could be an oil moisture thing. So given that there's a leak, so you guys should know that you can get different kind of feedbacks when it comes to oil and moisture. And given that we're empty and it's like 93 degrees right now, and that we had a bunch of rain, I don't know, who knows where these leaks are, right? We have a ton of moisture contamination here, and that could be throwing off the readings here, but it did check out every other test. So as of right now, I'm not condemning this. We gotta find and repair this leak, and I would give it, in my personal opinion, my professional opinion, I would give this thing a bump and then check it operating. And although electrically doesn't prove that it works mechanically, because when we worked on all those LG systems, it passed all these electrical tests, but when you started we had locked rotors, so it never failed electrically, at least from what I've seen. Almost every, yeah, pretty much every single time it failed mechanically. But it's worth giving it a shot, because changing a compressor on a unit like this is extremely expensive. This compressor alone costs thousands of dollars, let alone the labor and all the other materials to do this. To get up here, we're like 35 stories up, tons of ladders and everything. It could get quite crazy. So we found all this looking like it's deteriorating, and I saw some dust hanging here. But look at my fingers, yo, it's wet. It'll be from checking pressure, but that's oil there. And that's oil there. Just a thought. Just wonder if that's the circuit. There's no oil on this one. Interesting to see. I gotta figure out which circuit that is, but that's something to look at. Just looking around, that's very bent. I don't see anything, but these aluminum coils are so fragile. You gotta be real careful with them. But yeah, this unit definitely has a leak. If you guys have any feedback regarding why I'm only getting 10 volts when I'm applying 500 volts through my megameter between any of the two terminals for the compressor, please drop a comment below. And how come I'm getting everything else normal? Very strange to me, but it passes the majority of the tests and it's not grounded. It's kind of healthy readings, to be honest with you. Everything seems normal to me. I don't know why I got that fluctuation. That's definitely driving me a little nuts right now, but I'm not going to condemn this just yet and make these people pay thousands of dollars for something that may not be bad. They definitely have a leak. I'm just hoping that this wasn't created, because you never know, some companies are real shady. But let's find that leak, change the dryer, pull a good vacuum on that thing, make sure this thing is good, and bump it, see what happens. It's honestly, the leak has to get fixed regardless. The dryer has to get changed regardless. It's just something that has to be done. We're only at 50% capacity here if it's running at full speed. So let's get that done, because it needs to be done, and take this one step at a time instead of going crazy and changing the compressor and fixing the leak all in one shot. I don't know about all that. I don't think that's good practice. But definitely leave your comments, and if anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as I come out with new videos every week. And catch you all next time.